Hi. I'm going to go over what we went over on Thursday about doing your research online. So, trying this for the first time, so we'll see how this works. Okay, so you're using your graphic organizer. So remember yesterday, we got this graphic organizer and we wrote on it. Well, you can totally, I have lots of copies of these. You can do all of your research online and then write down all your notes if you want to do that. That's what I'm looking at here. Or I have it for you electronically. So today I'm going to show you some shortcuts, tips and tricks for when you go online to do your research and take notes. And kind of what to expect and all that kind of stuff. So let's get rid of that. So right now, you're going to go to Google Classroom, pick out your class. Then you're going to go to Research for Argumentative Essay. There are all the directions. Read all the directions. Then here is the electronic version of the note taking. If you were to bust this open and try to write on it, it's going to be like, nope, can't write on it. You have to make a copy. Here's how you make a copy. Go to File, Make a Copy. You can either rename it right now or you can push OK, and then when it makes your copy, rename it. So up here, see my little cursor? Up here, as soon as everyone makes a copy, that's what everyone's is called. So you need to make it your own. So you're going to put your own name on it. 2020 argument notes, whatever it is, you're going to name it. 202 argument, whatever. So you can find it when you search it. So you're going to name it whatever you're going to name it. Then you're going to fill out your name and do all those things. Okay. I already did mine here, so you don't have to watch me do it. So here I've got my notes. I'm ready to take notes. I can write in the document. It's going to be great. So then I go to the Google and I put what I'm going to put in. Now I'm doing personal technology addiction, real or not. Maybe you can guess why. TikTok. I think that that's going to be very interesting to me. It might apply to me. I really want to find out both sides and then write an argument. So I put that in and I have all these search results, which is great. Here's the thing. Deciding what to put in here is very important. I originally put personal technology addiction, real or hype. And the fact that I just put the word hype, it came up with a bunch of different things. And I was like, So then I put real or not. That slight change got me better results. You can put in any topic. I mean, you can see some of these topics behind me, but you could put in any topic like marriage equality, pros or cons, homework, pros or cons, pros and cons, animal testing, pros and cons. If you write the words pros and cons into your search, you'll get a whole bunch of results that show both sides. So I just put in, is this real or not? And then as I look through all my results, I'm like, okay, childmind.org. I feel like I've heard of that, maybe. Hazelden Betty Ford, that's one that I know. I know Betty Ford is one of the leading rehab centers in the country, and Hazelden, that's where the celebrities go for their rehab. So there's probably something legitimate there. I'm also noticing that first one says, there is technically no such thing as internet or phone addiction. And the next one says, the one that I really know is probably legit, says, learn how technology addiction affects the brain in similar ways to substance abuse. So I've got already two different sides. So I'm scrolling down and I find NPR. I love NPR. I'm going to click on that one. So I click on that and I get this article. Very long article. I read it. I read that the whole first part I read is about a teen, a middle schooler who was on her phone a lot. Then she started being on her phone all the time. Then she was like separating herself from her family and not doing things with her friends. She was just laying on her phone, not happy. She was going on social media, going on different things. And then suddenly she got sad. She was alone. She was only seeing these things. She started searching ways to kill herself and became suicidal in her thoughts, which is completely delusional thinking. This is like a thought that comes from like drugs or something. So I was like, that's a very powerful story. So I'm going to go to my my notes, and I'm going to put story of suicidal teen on NPR.org. Okay. So, or story of suicidal teen. So I'll kind of remember that story. I know I got it on NPR.org. But here's a couple tricks. You ready? These are game changers if you don't know these, by the way. One of them is, first of all, if I'm going back and forth between I'm reading this, and I go over here and I'm putting it in my notes, there's an easier way to do that. I can just take this tab, I'm clicking on it, and I'm dragging it down, and it makes it a whole separate thing. Then if I click Alt Tab, boom. Oh, I didn't go to the right one. I'm not playing it. And I put it on that tab. There's my notes. Alt Tab goes to right where I was reading. Alt Tab goes right back here, right? So I can read, and I can go Alt Tab, and it goes right to my notes. I can write something down. Here's another game changer. Here I have a note. Story of suicidal teen. If that's all I'm writing, I'll go, I remember that story. Yeah. If I go to npr.org, just npr.org, and I try to find that article, it's going to be really hard to find. So I could write down the name of the article, the title of the article, and that would be helpful. What's even faster is to make a link right here. Here's how you do that. Go back to the article. This is the article I was reading. I go to the URL. I highlight it. Sometimes you have to drag yours all the way. Highlight the whole thing, and I use a shortcut to copy, which is Control C. Okay, so there's two things. I'm teaching you how to do a link, but also the shortcut Control C is copy. Control C. I copied it. Then I Alt Tab toggle back. Put the link in, I highlight npr.org, that's where I want the link to go, and I go up to this little icon right here. It looks like a little chain. It says insert link. I click that. This little window pops up. What link? I paste it in there. You can paste it how you usually do, or you can go Control V. That's the shortcut, Control V. Paste it right in there, apply, and now I've got a link that goes directly to that article. So when I've taken a whole bunch of notes, I can go back and go, that suicide. Oh yeah, I remember that story. That's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna pull from that. I click on the link, and there it is. Okay. So if I go back here to, and I read down, and I find, let's see, where is it? This. I've got this doctor's name, long name I can't pronounce. A psychiatrist, the director of Stanford's Obsessive Compulsive Disorder Clinic. And he says there's also increasing psychological evidence that the use of internet can become addictive for some people. That's okay, that's a definite side. He seems like someone who would know. Some studies using scanning technology have looked at people's brains while they're online, he says, and compared them to scans of the activated reward pathways in the brains of people who have a substance abuse disorder. Similar pathways seem activated. Okay, so what does that mean? The brains of people who have substance abuse disorders might be drug addicts, right? So a drug addict's brain, when they do a scan, when they want that drug, have the same reward pathways as someone who's looking at the internet when they're addicted to the internet, basically. So when I'm writing it in my paper, if I use that piece of information, I'm going to write it different. I'm going to put it in my own words rather than these words. And so I definitely do not cut and paste into your essay. However, this is my research. I want to gather my research. So you can cut and paste into your research. Instead of rewriting this long name and all these things, plus there's a quote in there I might want to use, I'm going to go ahead and Control C, copy, toggle back over, Control V, paste it. I've got that whole thing in there. I want to remember npr.org. It's from the same article, so really, if I want it and I want it linked, I can just copy this one. Control C, Control V. Now I've got the link in there too, or I could have linked it again. The shortcuts for copy, paste, and link are all in the slides, the class slides, and all these class slides are or you can just pause on them here, I guess, but they're all in Canvas as usual. So you go to the Canvas calendar and the class slides for the week are in there, and it's got your Control C, Control V, links. There's how the links work. You could also Google how to do that and you'll find it. All right, so now what you're gonna do, now what you're gonna do is finish doing some research. Be sure to get stuff for both sides. Remember that also that tip about putting pros and cons in your search engine. You put personal technology pros and cons, and I'm going to get a bunch of articles about pros and cons of that. Another nice one is if I go to procon.org. This is a website that has a whole bunch of articles on all kinds of topics. Every single one of these is a link. It's a topic that will automatically show you the pro and con side. Happy research. I press stop now. How do I do that?